Well, I'm thinking about life, especially artificial life, that is, human made life, so to speak, where humanity becomes God. Uh, we are building things that can behave as if they were alive, and I see already a low battery symbol, so 29 seconds. Well, I don't want to waste too much time, but I do want to smoke a cigarette in any case. Reading a adventure, what do they call it? Thriller. An adventure thriller. Yes. Anyway, on my Kindle, this is a Kindle Unlimited triple book. That doesn't work. Hold standby, but near empty. That's probably trash. Well, anyway, we are building things which simulate life, like self-driving cars and so forth. Simulate conscious, intelligent creatures, but they aren't. Not really. And apparently, so I don't know from whom I got this meme or whatever, but I need a haircut. I'm going to go next door soon. There's a lady barber, Gisela Huber, I think. Anyway, just recording. Life goes through bottlenecks with every generation and absolutely includes and requires death. Not only to clear the decks, but to select so that improvement, effectiveness, can occur. Now, what the hell difference does that make? It doesn't. It just is. And that's how life is. It goes through a sequence of our kind, anyway, of life, adult forms, eggs of some sort, seeds, single cell, collapses down to a single cell, and then sprouts back upwards. That's how life works. So if we were going to make a star-faring artificial life form to go out into the void and go forth and multiply, it's probably true that it needs to go through the equivalent of a single cell seed for the next generation. If only so that variations in its DNA equivalent, information content of its self-assembly book, self-assembly library, it has to have a chance by occurring in a single cell, one mutation or whatever, and then producing whatever that mutated form produces. This is simulated on the computer self-inventing algorithms, so to speak, which can test themselves and find the best version and kill off many or some of the other versions. Anyway. It's an interesting thought. I don't know where I got it from, but apparently some philosopher or scientist or combination said that that's, in a sense, an essential feature of life, as we know it anyway. So, we probably will, with the help of artificial intelligences, probably will develop some sort of a starfaring life form, potentially galactic life form. And of course it could carry along the very minimal necessary equipment to produce human life, just as easily as carrying along the necessary equipment to produce artificial life. I mean, all it needs to do is to properly assemble DNA molecules and the support structures with proteins and whatever that it also needs to synthesize. And so basically it would need to synthesize at least a human zygote, one way or another. And, a fertilized egg and a suitable environment for the growth and maturation of that fertilized egg. Could be done, no problem. And the life itself, so to speak, the human life, does not need to survive, let's say, light years of travel. Only the information and necessary equipment to synthesize all of the stuff that's needed. And I suspect the equipment could be very simple, relatively speaking, but highly developed, and would need to be replicated. Whatever that equipment is would need to be replicated in the next seed for the next solar system or whatever. Although I expect that multiple seeds would land in the same place and would begin the well-known process of natural selection. So life in that solar system, artificial life, would ideally start out with a little chance of competition occurring, if very rare, but if variety were permitted in the seed genomes, which is necessary, I'd say, and therefore, if a dozen or a million or 10 or one, if a dozen or something landed in one solar system, some planet somewhere, it could go forth and multiply, the essence of life. Go forth and multiply. And then the purpose of life, staying alive. And don't forget fucking. Yeah, sexual recombination, or whatever you might call it, is a brilliant feature of Earth life, and could very well be